Patriot of unmatched dignity and honor. President Joe Biden says he is deeply saddened by the death of former U.S. Secretary of State Colin Powell.
According to his family, Powell died this morning from complications of COVID-19. They say the 84-year-old was fully vaccinated. 12 News reporter Brittany Schaefer spoke to people here in Rhode Island who called him a friend. She joins us live in studio with how Powell is being remembered tonight. Brittany?
Well, Mike Shannon, General Colin Powell was a former Secretary of State, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and Vietnam vet. Those who call him a friend tell me he will be remembered as a true patriot.
Colin Powell is an extraordinary American.
And someone who made history as the first black U.S. Secretary of State and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. The 84-year-old served the nation for decades.
He's the model of what we all as Americans should strive to be. Committed to decency, fairness, and also willing to fight for it.
According to his family, Colin Powell, who was fully vaccinated, died from COVID complications. Lieutenant General Reggie Centracchio tells me he has met Powell several times, and the way he passed is disheartening.
He had some compromise, and it had to do with Parkinson's, and that perhaps gave a gateway to the ability for the COVID to take on. And when you look at how he died, that was not the way he not wanted to go. I'm really sad about that.
Powell's 2003 speech to the United Nations argued for military action against Iraq following the 9/11 terrorist attacks. But whether it was talking to global leaders or a crowd of Rhode Islanders, Centracchio tells me he was a great person.
Be able to just sit down and have a conversation was just, I'll never ever forget. That's I think his strongest point. He was able to talk to people, guys, whether you're talking to a king or someone else or just a plain old me. I think he needs to be remembered as one who looked at the United States has more good in it than bad.
And family and friends have not released a date for Powell's funeral yet. We will keep you updated on that here at 12 News over the next coming days. Live in studio, I'm Brittany Schaefer, 12 News.
Tonight, tributes continue to come in for former Secretary of State Colin Powell, who we learned this morning had died of COVID-19 complications at the age of 84. His family says he was fully vaccinated, but had battled a blood cancer that left him at higher risk. Flags are at half-staff at the White House in honor of the man who broke barriers on the battlefield and in the halls of political power. 12 News reporter Brittany Schaefer talked to Rhode Island senior senator and the former head of the Rhode Island National Guard about the impact Powell had. Brittany?
Well, Shannon, General Colin Powell made history in the United States as the first black Secretary of State. Senator Jack Reed says the 84-year-old was inspirational and someone he went to many times for advice.
Diplomatic relations with other nations.
Former U.S. Secretary of State Colin Powell remembered as a true patriot.
America has lost a great public servant.
According to his family, Powell passed away Monday morning due to complications of COVID-19. They say he was fully vaccinated. The news shocking to those who call him a friend.
It's certainly sad this morning because I've known him for many years.
I had the privilege of working closely with him, of getting to know him and to asking him for advice.
The four-star general made history in the U.S. as the first black man to serve as chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and later U.S. Secretary of State, for which he was unanimously confirmed in 2001. Powell was the first American official to publicly blame Osama bin Laden and al-Qaeda for the 9/11 terrorist attacks. The 84-year-old consistently defended his support for the Iraq War. Lieutenant General Reggie Centracchio tells me he saw Powell a few years ago when he visited Rhode Island.
The thing that impressed me most was that his focus on the military was clearly what it should be, and that is to be able to put a force together, go to war if you have to, win and get out. It was not intended to be an organization to change a culture of a country.
Senator Jack Reed calling Powell a successful leader, extraordinary American, and friend.
He's the model of what we all as Americans should strive to be. Committed to decency, fairness, and also willing to fight for it.
And family and friends have not released a date for Powell's funeral yet. We will keep you updated on that here at 12 News over the next coming days. Live in studio, I'm Brittany Schaefer, 12 News.